Guys, let's talk about how to dominate 2024 and make it the best year of your stock trading career. Guys, this is part 2 of a 3-part series. If you guys missed part 1, click the link up here and watch part 1. It's only 8 minutes long, and then come back and watch this because I got some goodies in it for you guys. So guys, let's get into this. What we were talking about in the last video was the different things that are going to be happening in 2024. We've got election season, the Trumpster versus the Biden. Who's gonna win? Bare knuckle brawl between two 90-year-olds in diapers for the fate of America and the world. We've got possible interest rate cuts. We've got possible breakouts in the market. And then we also have the slowing of economy. Then we've got these subsequent things that are happening now, which is possibly AI starting to creep in more and more into the daily lives of Americans and possibly even traders. How do we adapt to these things or ride on those waves? I think that's going to be really important, trying to add a little bit more technology to what you do, try to become a little bit more bionic in what you do. People have such an aversion to technology. I do too. I've always been an old school paper and pencil guy, but let's be honest, I'm freaking Indian. I got no reason to be bad at technology, and neither do you. It's 2024, AI's coming around the corner, Skynet's taking over. We've got to be able to at least use Thinkorswim or TC2000 and some scanners properly and help make our lives a little bit easier. So where the heck do we start? So first I want to start to you guys about a couple trading patterns that I think are going to be important this year and how to trade them, and then something that we've added into our curriculum that I think has been very effective in terms of Fibonacci sequences done by Levi. He is the stock hunter, the leader of our options trading chat room, the best trader I've ever met. Frankly, he's better than I am. He's fantastic, he's tactical, he's into computers and algos, and dude, he's just so damn smart. And we're using a lot of the stuff that he's invented and made scripts of and crushing it. And then we're gonna go into the mental side into the next video. How the heck do we get our game up to make sure that we dominate? So we need a handful of tools to succeed in 2024. So number 1, you don't want to overstay your welcome in the trading market. We want to have some specialty opening range patterns. I teach 3 patterns that I think are fantastic, but they work at their best in momentum markets. We have for the open an ORB, which is a 3-candle minimum sideways consolidation pattern that's based on taking out the opening range. And so what we're looking for is a stock that has some type of news out, then it makes a sideways consolidation, takes out that opening range, and then you get a runner. So for example, if you look at IoT today, this is a trade that we were taking in our chat room, gaps up on earnings. The daily chart looks fantastic. When it finally consolidates after that opening push and the range gets tight, you get this nice trender that comes out of it. That's a setup you guys can do literally every single day. The second one is if a stock opens weak on the day, we call this a red to green trade. So if you look at UPST, this is a stock that I trade all the time. You could see like right off at the open, it dips down for like just 5 minutes and then boom, goes red to green. That means that it literally goes from negative on the day to positive 1 penny. On your TC2000, it's the dotted line. By the way, if you don't have TC2000 or want my layouts, just message me. I'll get those over to you. All my scans, layouts, I give to all my students. But you hit it over that dotted line, stop at the bottom of the candle, and then you're off to the races. Very simple pattern. It works really well on hot charts where you have a weak open and then you go red to green. And then the last one that I use at the open is the first pullback buy this is going to be a great pattern for those of you guys that have a habit of chasing and you want to hit stocks on dips. If you take a look at Etsy today, right, you have this beautiful daily chart, and then you get a quick spike at the open. It pulls back right into the EMAs. If you see your 9 and 20 EMA, it pulls right back in it. It goes a little bit under, but when you get a green candle to hold there, that's when you want to buy it, put a stop at the bottom of the candle, and then you're off to the races. Now remember that you don't always get trenders in stocks. Oftentimes stocks can be really hot in the morning, consolidate in the afternoon, and then run into the day. It's more rare, maybe one day a week where they're kind of running up the whole day. So always take your profits and keep raising up your stop losses. And guys, there's no reason to not be able to extract long winners when you can literally raise your stop losses directly from the chart. If you look at TC2000, you can literally drag up your stop loss via the chart. You can do that on ThinkerCrap. You can do that on any charting platform besides eTrade Pro. We got no excuses, right? If 2024 is going to be a big year, then we've got to be able to capitalize. Very, very important. So those are going to be the patterns that we use for the opens. So we always want to throw in something new every single trading year. So this year, I challenge you to learn how to trade Fibonacci's. I didn't know anything about these Fibonacci's up until 6 months ago when Levi came and partnered with Bulls on Wall Street and brought his own strategies and algos right to the table for my students. And boy, it's been a game changer for so many of my students because no longer do they have to chase breakouts. They found a way to enter stocks on pullbacks based on things that are above and beyond moving averages. So we always want to add a little flavor to our year. So this year, I challenge you to add the 50 and 60.18 Fibonacci sequences to your charts. We have auto scripts for this stuff right in our Thinkorswims, so it's always calculating. You don't have to do anything on it, but boy, this stuff is nuts. What Levi does with options trading is bonkers. Look at Coin today. So Coin has a huge breakout over highs on its daily chart. If you start looking at the chart on Coin, it explodes up to like 130, 131 bucks. Then it pulls right back in to the top of its fib zones, right? We mark these out as zones instead of individual lines because that whole zone in itself is more important for our style of strategies. While it's sitting there in that 129, 130 range on the zone, I'm accumulating this in our chat room at $1, these contracts, as it's starting to build at that zone. And what you start to see is a end of day run into 130. Those contracts turn to $3 by the end of the day. The fib sequence gave me the perfect entry for these. If you look at Tesla today, right? Tesla has a nice pop in the morning based on its gap down. We buy the first pullback into the fib zone. I add the calls around $1.20, and next thing you know, Tesla only pops a couple points. It doesn't even go green on the day, but those calls go from $1 to $3 in just a handful of minutes. Options trading can be wild if you find ways to hit them on pullbacks. When you chase option trades because of this decay, you can really get smoked out. But if you're doing options trading and you're learning how to add stocks on pullbacks without chasing the way Levi does, dude, you've become a whole different type of trader. Add this to your system. We use zone indicators, fib indicators that are drawing itself. Levi's made his own scripts for this stuff, so they're constantly calculating. It's pretty sick. And we couple that with a momentum indicator so that we can tell when a momentum is about to start or stop in a particular name. The stuff he's been making up for us has been insane. Guys, we have all the scripts. You can message me if you want access to them. Every one of our students in his options boot camp gets access to this stuff. It's gonna make you more bionic. It's gonna give you a better tactical way of looking at stocks. You gotta get into it. Last but not least, we've gotta still get a little bit better at technology. So whip out your T-Sheet 2000 or your Thinkorswim, start making some scripts, start making some codes so that you can automate your indicators and zones of support and resistance like we do at Bulls on Wall Street with Levi's zone indicator and fib sequences, but also on T-Sheet 1000 you can write PCF scans and do streaming scans to really alert you for anything. When you have so many stocks in a market, if the market gets hot in 2024 and you're just sitting there staring at Tesla and Nvidia and Meta all day, that's what most traders do, right? They just want to learn what these big boys are doing, or they use like, you know, crappy gap scanners and they just trade these gaps. That's not gonna be enough. We've got to be multi-dimensional. And if you can incorporate some of these things, it's gonna take your trading to the next level. Guys, let me know if you have any questions. Wait till number 3 comes out. We're gonna talk about the mental side of trading and what you gotta do in 2024. And make sure you smash that like button and let me know if you have any questions.